All right, this is Caleb with Transcend Roofing Systems. We're out here today at 145 Antler Trail. I'm going to be starting this video from ground zero. This was originally an Allstate claim filed for wind and hail damage. As you can see, just from the bottom area right here, there's multiple sections. Let me make sure I've got this for you. So this is going to be labeled. This is a storm. This is a storm shield. Basically, it's just a any kind of ruler so we can measure. This is just showing, half an inch right there. Let's see, half an inch right there. We've got holes all over here from hail. There was actually some dents that were going on in this screen. But I'd have to find them. We'll just keep this video progressing. We're gonna keep it going as far as showing the sizable impacts of hail damage. So what we're being told currently on this claim is that this roof has acknowledged hail damage. We were told by an Allstate adjuster that we need to reach out to the prior insurance carrier, which is Mercury Insurance, to file an insurance claim with them due to the fact that 2.5 years ago, there was a storm that measured, I think it was 1.25 inches or 1.5 inches greater in hail diameter. And in the past 12 months of this home, currently we have 2 different storms that are within a 12-month period of when the claim was filed that are 0.75 of an inch to 1 inch in hail size diameter. It was basically being told that the hail on the metal awning, which is where I'm getting up here right now to show you, was inconsistent with the size of the storm that we had. So I've got these 3 marked up. As you can see, let me get to inches real quick. Flip it over. We'll jump over here. All right. So I would say that's a little less than 3/4. Right there at 3/4, if not a little less. This is a half. Down here, it's about 3/4. There are some ones that are bigger in diameter. I can't disagree with you on that. That one's 1 inch. This one is 3/4, or actually less than 3/4. This one's about 1 inch. So it's going to vary. Actually, hell, we've got, we'll scan this because you can see the dents right here from the way the light's refracting off of this. So that's perfect. 1/2 inch. See if we got any going this way. There's a lot of stuff going right there on the top. But anyway, so that's just proved my point right there. So as everybody could acknowledge there wasn't anything that was greater than 1 inch in diameter of impact. We've got 2 ladders set up. So what I'm going to do today, so there's no confusion, because it was stated that, in the original inspection, we didn't see any wind, nothing like that. So I'm going to do a walk around of this roof to show you at least what I've found and the parts of the roof that I was brave enough to walk to make sure that we were getting everything. Look at that. There's protrusions from the inside. There's dents from the inside. You can see that there. But I'm taking you with me. This is just raw footage. You've got your tabs here missing. That's wind damage. Shingle's not even attached. A lot of these are going to have wind on them all the time just because they're getting lifted up quite a bit. This roof's these gutters have dents kind of all over them. But we're gonna climb up here. If you bear with me, like I said, we're going from ground zero. But right off the bat, there's a lot. I actually sent a video in to Allstate of this exact location, and we'll move to other locations across the roof. But you can see all these impacts. They are clearly cratered impacts. That's a non-negotiable that these are hail impacts, all of them. So what I've done, that's a crater. What I've done is these have actually been acknowledged as hail. There's hail that's acknowledged on this roof. The argument was Allstate doesn't want to take accountability because they don't believe that the 2 recent storms that are measuring up perfect with what this is telling us, 3/4 of an inch. But if you actually look at the inside diameter, look how small, look at that. So that's like 1/2 inch, and it knocked out, like the crater itself you can see how close I am to this. You can see the fractured fiberglass and everything. I've also sent microscopic photos. We've got verified storm reports from multiple different sources, but that's the inside portion is about a ½ an inch where the fiberglass is busted, and then it's kind of expanded where granules, it knocked the granules out up to 3/4 of an inch. Same way with this one. This one's pretty smoked right here. A lot of exposed fiberglass. 3/4 of an inch never gets above an inch. It's going to be the same thing as we move up here. Look, there's exposed fiberglass right there. You can tell exactly where it hit. That's less than 3/4 of an inch. See if I cover the whole thing up, slide it down. 3/4 of an inch. This one's smaller. Check that out. Crater in the roof. This one's less than 3/4 of an inch. And I've had this conversation with the adjuster. There's actually been 2 different adjusters that this was involved. I think the first one was Keith Corona. Then the next guy's like Sean or something like that. But I have showed multiple different locations. Check that out. I've told multiple different locations of this roof where there are clear impacts of hail. They've acknowledged it. What they're saying is it's too big, like I've stated before. But right there, I just proved every theory that they said wrong. You can't beat putting a tape measure straight over the impact. But we're going to be very careful while doing this repair. Gary, you want me to do me a solid favor? This is my partner, Gary, up here. He's going to be helping me. Yeah. He's going to record. We're going to do a repair. But first, we're going to go get that roof snake. There's a shingle in the gutter. First of all, that's inevitably wind damage. It's right there. Okay, yeah. I see it. It's missing. Right there. You can see it's gone. This is probably the 3rd or the 4th time I've been on this roof because we're basically just deferring what's going on, but that's the wind damage. This is probably the one we're going to attempt to repair because it starts there, comes over here. It's going to give us the full ability to see what's going on right here. So there we've got 1 wind damage, 2 wind damage, 3 wind damage. Like I said, these are just the parts right now that I'm brave enough to walk without a pitch hopper, or a Ridge Pro, sorry. It's kind of hard. Check that out. That's good hail right on the ridge cap there. These vents are kind of hard because, if we were to show the hail in the beginning, the first adjuster was just completely denying everything. He was saying there wasn't hail damage. Then the second adjuster came on and was saying that there was hail damage, but it was too big of a size, I guess. Let me chalk this up real quick so we can see. But we're doing all this real time just so you can see basically what's going on. And the reason that the homeowner is extremely upset because, like I said, he changed his insurance over to Allstate thinking that he would be in good hands, and he's being given the runaround, saying that they're not responsible and this, that, and the other, and the hail came from this and that and everything. But all right, there you go. Dents in it. There's some hail that's pea size because those are pea size, and there's also some other dents that are larger. You've got some more going on the corners up here, but like I said, these things are kind of weird because you'll have some that bounces off and things like that. But we'll just take this from here, grab my inches, put that on there. It's not going to be greater than 3/4 of an inch. That's going to be, I'd say, in between 1/2 and 3/4. And this one's kind of just a weird spot. It could be the way that the chalk's running across it, but that's going to show 1.25 inches. That's the only irregularity that has showed much of a 1.25 inches or something greater of nature. But what we're going to do is, this is the roof. You've got photos. There's been an inspection. And I will say, the gentleman that was up on this roof to do the initial inspection, he was excellent. He probably stayed here for 3 hours, taking photos, submitting everything. So that's why I know that you guys have all the photos and all the documentations that you need. Right now, it's either one of those things where we don't want to help the homeowner, or it's a management issue, basically not allowing the compensation for this roof to identify the true damage. But right here, we've got a shingle, and this is a hip roof. So while we're up here, I'll explain this to everybody, and I'll explain why it's important to note that this is a hip roof and a ridge over roof, because let's say we've got wind damage right over there, right? We're in the state of Georgia. So in the state of Georgia, we have the IRC was adopted in 2018. So basically, our state minimum building requirements, and this is not to be confused with code coordinates upgrades for drip edge and ice and water. This is state minimum building requirements, where if I submitted in for a permit, told them what we were going to do, they would either pass or fail, or give the permit or not give the permit. So right here, on all these hips, and every manufacturer, and I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that every manufacturer on hips, that's a transitional slope from the hip to the next slope. The valley is a transitional slope from that slope to the front slope. The ridge over is a transitional slope from this slope over to the other side slope. Same thing for here, transitional. This valley is transitional into that one. That's a ridge over, so it's transitional there. This hip, it's a transitional all the way around, and there, same thing, valley over the ridge. But basically, the underlayment has to overlap on each section that is transitional a minimum of 6 inches, and some manufacturers are different, but they have a minimum of 12 inches, I believe, but 6 inches on either side is the most common. So if we tear this slope off or tear this whole slope off, we've got to tear these off, because we've got to, meet our state minimum requirements. Hey, Gary, I'm gonna need the pitch hopper. Because I got to do that repair here. But what we're gonna do, we'll probably wrap this up. I'll start this video back over here. It's probably going to be the easiest repair, because with this repair, I've got to take the whole ridge cap off. I know this was not included in this scope, but here I've got to take the whole ridge vent, the ridge cap. It's going to come over here and tear these shingles up, because we can't harvest old materials. So anything that's already got a nail through it, we can't reharvest old shingles or old materials. These can't be re-nailed, so those are going to have to be added to the scope. So there's a lot of things that are incorrect with what's going on and the way we have it. So to further ease our stress and our headache, we're going to perform a repair over there with the shingle that's wide open, where I can show you that number one, these shingles are, they've seen their better day, but at the end of the day, we're not coming after, Allstate, or coming after anybody rather, to replace this roof due to the wear and tear that's on it. When you do a repair, there's 3 stages to identifying if a shingle can be repaired. It's the CAR method. So the C stands for compatibility. We're going to take this shingle, if we don't destroy it, we're going to take this shingle and send it off to a third-party shingle identification service. I know that Allstate would like to see ITEL, but we also get NTS. We'll send it off to both. We'll pull 2 shingles and make sure we compare, so there's no bias one way or the other. So the first is compatibility. If it's not compatible, you cannot mix the shingles. We have to abide by the manufacturer's installation instructions per the IRC that we adopted in 2018. So if they say that we can't mix it, we can't mix the product. So the first one is compatibility. The second one, CAR, is CA. So A is going to be availability. It's going to kind of go along with, can we get the shingle? What's going on with it? What is it? And then last one's going to be repairability. So if I go to take this shingle out and manipulate the 2 or 3 or however many that I've got to manipulate to get the original one out, I'm going to tear them up, or it's going to pass repairability. So that's what the R stands for, is the roof repairable. If it fails any one of those 3, the roof is not repairable, and there's nothing that can be done, per the homeowner and what they're basically what working in good faith should do to the homeowner, other than to replace this whole roof that is clearly damaged. Like I said, it's been acknowledged in prior conversations on recorded lines, things like that, that this roof has hail on it, but it also has wind on it. So there's multiple ways that we're having to go around this. This video will be posted on YouTube. Allstate will be tagged in it. It's almost to the point where it's, I hesitate to say comical, but it's also heartbreaking for the homeowner that they're having to go through this, you know, after a policy that they pay for month in, month out, year in and year out. So if it comes to the point where we've got to reach out, you know, insurance commission, things like that to take this serious, I've already actually brought an engineer into the picture to check this out. He is going to basically identify how long ago. You know, you can't say that this hail hit yesterday or this hail hit 2 weeks ago, but what you can do is you can tell me the size of the hail. So that's basically what this roof is coming down to, the dragging along that this homeowner's been taken through, telling them to go with old insurance companies to pay for this because they know that it needs to be paid for and they don't want to pay for it. But without further ado, Gary's got my pitch hopper. I'm going to set that up right here. I'm going to write everything up on this slope. We're going to perform a repair, and that's going to conclude both of these videos. They'll be posted to YouTube and they'll be sent over to Allstate. Thank you very much.